Keep the microphone.
I need another minute, no?
Keep the microphone in the stand, but stand close enough.
Sounds good. Can you hear me okay? So it's August 2nd, 2021, and I'm in this black lake, 5 a.m. in the morning, about to jump in cold water to compete in one of the most challenging races on the planet. It's called Icon, and it's an extreme Ironman in the mountains in Italy, in the Alps. You had to swim for 2.1 miles in the cold, dark water. Then you have to bike across the Alps for 130 miles with 5,000 meters of elevation gain. And then you run a marathon, and there is an elevation gain of 1,000 meters, I think it is. And you have 21 hours to do it. So I was with 200 people there, scared like shit, about to jump. You had to tie a buoy with a light in the back, and my crew was my wife and my fucking friend Boris, who didn't touch it well. And I jump in the water. This, by the way, is I believe it's 6,000 feet of altitude. As soon as I jump and start swimming, I could not breathe. It was dark, pitch dark. And I could not breathe, and I keep trying, and as soon as I jumped, 2 minutes later, I lost the buoy. I kept going, I try until I couldn't figure it out. I turning my back, looking at the stairs, trying to figure out my rhythm. I was about to die. I didn't know what to do. I started losing the rest of the competitors and the light that was so far away. Didn't know what to do. 30 minutes or so later, a boat came in and said, "You missing your buoy?" Of course I am. So here is another one. We tried. You're in the middle of nowhere, trying to survive, really. And they gave me this buoy, and I said, "No, I'm okay. And I just went off, and again, I lost that buoy. And I thought I was going to die. I really thought. An hour later or so, I didn't know what time it was, I raised my hand. I asked them to pull me out. The boat came in. I don't know how they found me because I didn't have the light. They took me out. My wife, Andrea, was crying. I was crying. It was cold. I was just shaking, and I was devastated. At this point, I had 150 races on my belt, and this was the first one I failed. And I was just, didn't know. I failed to my crew, and we went to the hotel, and I had a few beers and just lay down and went to bed. Next morning, Andrea came and say, "Hey, I was looking in the internet. You can sign up for the race again if you sign up today." Sure. So I did. I signed up, of course. Went back home after all this mess, and I trained again. I did a few things differently, of course, and I went back in 2022. And I swim again, the same conditions, very cold, darker than this. And you had to swim for 2.1 miles. It took me an hour and a half hours. Suddenly I came out with my face was all blown out. And then I ride my bike for 9 hours through the Alps. By the way, the mile 80 is Stelvio, which is famous for in one of the famous races. 4 hours just to climb it. And then I went to the peak of the mountain. It took me 18 hours to finish. If you finish, you get a white t-shirt. Thank you. Andrea gave me so much shit when I got there. She was crying, I was crying, it was raining, it was in the peak of the mountain, and she cried, she said, "You never do this again, you promised, mother, this and that." And I said, "Yeah, I promise. I remember I promised a dog for 5 years. You got it." She did. It's called Nico. It's in the house. And it's our baby. I didn't know. When I fell at the beginning, I didn't know this was going to be the most important lesson of my life, really. And I keep realizing every day that how important it is to fail. If you fail, you learn, then you come back and you rise and you do better. There is no other way. 3 months ago, I lost my job. I thought I was doing great, and who knows what happened. I didn't. It was another Icon race, I guess I couldn't figure out what was wrong, but I did. But you know what I did? The very same thing I did in Icon. Next day, I was ready with my network, putting things together. 3 weeks later, I have 4 offers. 4 things going on. Today, this is true story. I signed up for one of them. Yeah. Ironically, somebody in one of the last jobs, I'm not going to say, said to me that I didn't understand software. By the way, I was in a software company. This job is in the biggest software company in the planet, and I didn't know I could do that. So now I'm about to start in a week. So it's another Icon, and here's my message to you. What is your Icon? What is what you are afraid of? I tell you what, I have now like 200 races on my belt. I'm always scared. When I jump from a boat or wherever I'm doing, I'm always scared, but I do it. I do it because I want to face that possibility of failure. And if I do, guess what I do? I learn, and then I come back. So search for your Icon. Thank you.